Hey guys, quick Sunday Moonshot here. I didn't have a lot of time to preparing this video, so it won't be as deep as usual. But with the recent news of TikTok possibly banned in the US and, Microsoft stepping in and possibly acquiring TikTok in the US, I thought it's good to make a quick video on the prospects of being invested in TikTok. And I have tweeted 6 days ago that I've actually trimmed my Microsoft position, and that may have been a bad move. Looking back, I was picking up Microsoft when the stock price crashed, and my initial investment hypothesis was actually that Microsoft is also really exposed to the Chinese market. Maybe many possibly don't know that actually Microsoft is adhering to the Chinese local rules, so they have a search engine which is obviously censored in that regard, and thereby they are free and active in the market. And unlike Google and Facebook, for instance, so Microsoft has closer ties to China than most of the bigger US tech companies there. And at the same time, I'm a heavy user of LinkedIn, and I've witnessed like how much organic traction you can have on this network. And yeah, that's also one of the investments of Microsoft. So this, and plus what happened during the crisis, that Microsoft Teams was kind of a competitor to Zoom, and we all know what happened to Zoom. I thought the prospects of actually Microsoft having some share of this recovery, and having a share for this trend towards video communications will be one of the aspects why I'm investing in Microsoft. But in the end, it didn't perform as well as my other stonks. So I was kind of disappointed by the performance, and I was lately just booking some profits there and capping it, selling around 80% of my shares in Microsoft and looking to invest it somewhere else where I could possibly get more returns on my investment. So now regarding TikTok, we all know that TikTok is a fast-growing social media, and I'm super bullish on it. Maybe some of you have also experienced during the Corona lockdown that it has been a trend. Even people like me over 30, we have started downloading TikTok and doing some videos there, and thereby, the network is getting some traction in different generations, in different areas, new consumers and users in that regard. And the network is much more maturing, even though, in the past, of course, it's been a social media network for teens. However, I'm super bullish on the proposition of short videos. I really do think it's the future, and it's super entertaining. It can be actually super useful in the context of reporting and education, actually. And TikTok hasn't even started yet with the monetization of the network. So for all the content creators right now, they basically don't make any money unless they are live streaming and getting some coins on the platform. But we don't see the adoption of the Chinese, actually, the Chinese functionalities of TikTok. So in China, it's called Douyin. It's the same network, owned both by Bytedance, but in China it's much more monetized, much more interlinked with e-commerce already. And of course, this is what is going to happen in Germany, in the US, and everywhere else where TikTok is gaining users. So high growth, a new medium, and something that really spotted my interest there. And also been using some other products of ByteDance before, like Jinri Toutiao. So it's another news aggregator. I actually have been using it from the media business side. So we have been launching advertisements in China using their platform, and I can say that it is comparably good to what else is out there in the market. So I'm having a little bit of my own due diligence with ByteDance here, with their products, for instance, using TikTok, but also some of their other services. So in general, who wouldn't love to invest in ByteDance or in TikTok in that regard? And now, possibly, even though they have been rumored to have the 2020 IPO, which might be getting more and more unlikely given the political issues now here, but now possibly we get the chance to kind of invest in TikTok through investing in Microsoft. And that gets me back to the point of, my initial thoughts about why it's interesting to invest in Microsoft. They're still intact. It's only that the stock isn't really performing, possibly because it's already trading at a 1.5 trillion US dollars valuation. So there isn't much room to double or triple the stock in a short-term future. However, now with TikTok, one could argue that, well, there is a huge growth potential. However, Microsoft would also only acquire the US part. So it's also, the smaller part of TikTok in that regard. And then there would still be the question, like, whether or not TikTok could succeed under the guidance or leadership of Microsoft. So here, I think there are some question marks in that regard. On the other hand, it's quite interesting to see that with this deal, if it goes through, of course, this is all just speculation in this point in time, but then it would give us the opportunity to buy in this super innovative Chinese company that is not available so far because it's just a private company. So what are my expectations for the stock and what am I going to do? Well, first of all, I still own some Microsoft shares, so I keep them riding and possibly making some gains in the next weeks if those kind of talks intensify. And I think it will possibly have implications on the stock price. On the other hand, as we see the relation between Bytedance, which is valued around maybe $80 billion compared to the $1.5 trillion valuation of Microsoft, you see it's tiny and it wouldn't move the stock price too much. However, there is a long-term potential with that, and it's good to see that Microsoft is engaging in such kind of talks. And once again, as I mentioned before, I'm covering also stocks here that are not initial Chinese companies, but have a large exposure to the Chinese market, such as Microsoft. So in general, I would say, it is an interesting stock, and you could kind of regard it maybe similar to something like Tencent. It's a company that is almost like its own ETF or index fund in this regard, because they own so many different businesses. In Microsoft's example, it's LinkedIn, it's hopefully TikTok at some point in time, and so on. So all those investments together give you a stake in those innovations, in those companies. And although the growth rates may not be as much as with a Tesla or a NIO, there might be some solid investments. And as long as you see that, this potential is there and there is room for growth, then I do think it could be a solid investment in the future. So right now, because I don't see too much implication on the stock price of Microsoft by this acquisition in TikTok, I'm not sure if I'm going to buy more shares, only if I see, a good, maybe a drop and see a dip that is possible to buy. Maybe the markets are going down in the next couple of days. Then I might take a step in here. Otherwise, I do think I'm still going with the idea of investing it somewhere else where I hopefully see more returns. For instance, maybe putting more also in HMI, in Huami, and which I made a video before, and other stocks that I'm going to do more videos on in the future. Also possibly buying back more Tesla or NIO. I think it's still something to think about given the prospects of those companies. So that's it for now. Quick moonshot here on a Sunday. I hope you enjoyed it. What's your opinion about it? I don't want to get too much into the political issue. I think the reasons behind it are mainly just driven by some political agendas here of some individual persons. And in that regard, you may come back with the question regarding Chinese stocks. Will they get delisted and so on? I'm once again not too worried about that. If we talk about other stocks like NIO and so on, I think we shouldn't panic on that regard. However, for TikTok, it's definitely getting serious there. And maybe I will cover it in the future. E-commerce is hot in China. KOL, key opinion leader influencers, are hot in China. Social media is a little bit more ahead in China than possibly anywhere else. So it's interesting to take a look at it, and thereby stay tuned for more videos. So also let me know what you think about TikTok in the comments. Do you want to see more content on TikTok? Are you interested in getting into Microsoft or the TikTok IPO at some point in time? Do you want a deeper analysis? I actually have spoken to some employees of Bytedance, and I can say there are some really cool things, functionalities upcoming. I can't really say too much about it, but all I can say is that it's really interesting, and I think it's having a huge potential in terms of monetization and also for the quality and the value of the platform. Once again, subscribe and like if you enjoy this, and yeah, have a great Sunday. And in that regard, see you in next week.